You probably think you left your toxic childhood behind the day you finally moved out. You got your own place, you started building your own life, and you told yourself, okay, I'm safe now. It's over. But here's a question for you. Did your nervous system ever actually get the memo? Just think about it for a second. How often do you find yourself saying, sorry? Sorry for taking up space, sorry for having a need, sorry for things that have absolutely nothing to do with you. Does that sound familiar? Or what about this one? You spend hours, maybe even days, just playing out a conversation in your mind on a loop. You're trying to anticipate every single possible reaction, preparing a defense for every little thing that could go wrong. And oh, this one, the modern classic. You get that simple text from someone, we need to talk. And what happens? Your heart just plummets, right? It drops straight into your stomach as your mind starts racing, trying to figure out what you possibly could have done wrong this time. Look, if you said yes to any of those, you might just think they're your personality quirks. I'm just a naturally anxious person. But it goes so much deeper than that. The reality is, your mind is still fighting a war that ended years ago. So let's actually dive into this. Let's explore these invisible scars, the very real ways that growing up in a toxic home can literally rewire your brain. We're gonna start with something that might even feel like a superpower. It's your incredible ability to read people. You know what I'm talking about. You walk into a room and you can instantly feel the mood. You pick up on the tiniest shifts in tone, in body language, things nobody else seems to notice. Well, this ability actually has a name. It's called hyper-vigilance. And it's not just about being empathetic. It's an extreme survival tactic your brain developed because at one point, your actual safety depended on being able to read the mood of the adults around you. And this slide just illustrates the difference perfectly. On the outside, people might say, wow, you're so empathetic, or you're such a great listener. But on the inside, you know that skill was forged as a threat radar. You weren't just listening, you were scanning for danger. As a kid, you had to become a detective. You developed what we can call a footstep radar. You learned to tell the difference between a happy footstep and an angry one. You knew intimately the difference between a door just closing and a door being slammed. You had to learn how to predict the storm long before you ever saw the lightning. And the thing is, as an adult, that radar is still on. All right, let's move on, because this constant scanning leads directly to our next point. It's that compulsion to over-explain everything and to over-apologize. And why does this happen? Well, because in a healthy home, a mistake is just a mistake. It's forgivable, you move on. But in a toxic home, you were never ever given the benefit of the doubt. Every tiny slip-up was treated like a fundamental character flaw. Every need you had was framed as some huge inconvenience. So what was the result? You learned to become a lawyer, constantly defending yourself in a courtroom where it felt like you were always on trial. So now as an adult, when you have to call in sick to work, you don't just say, I'm sick. No, you write a whole paragraph providing evidence, trying to control the narrative to prevent a punishment that, honestly, isn't even coming. But this next one, this is probably the most confusing, the most counterintuitive change of all. It's the reason why, for so many survivors, a sense of calm can actually feel incredibly dangerous. Just really think about this for a second. When your life is finally going well, you're in a healthy relationship, your job is stable, your home is quiet, you should feel happy. But instead, you might feel this deep, creeping sense of dread. It's because your brain learned to see peace itself as a threat. Because in a toxic home, quiet never meant peace. Quiet was the terrifying calm before the storm. It was the sound of tension building, the sign that someone was about to absolutely explode. And this creates a really dangerous cycle. Your brain basically got addicted to the high-stress, high-cortisol environment of chaos. So when things are finally stable and peaceful, your nervous system panics. It can't handle the quiet. And so subconsciously, it starts looking for problems. Or even worse, it might start to sabotage the good things in your life just to get back to that familiar feeling of chaos. Now, if you're listening to all of this and thinking, oh my God, my entire personality is just a collection of trauma responses, please just take a deep breath with me. We need to reframe this because it's time to start seeing yourself differently. This is not a reason to be angry with yourself. Your brain did something absolutely beautiful. It did something incredibly intelligent. It rewired itself to keep you alive in an environment where you had no power. So the most important takeaway here is to change your story. The old story says, I'm just an anxious person. The new story needs to be, I am a brilliant, adaptable survivor. The old story says, my personality is flawed. The new story says, I developed incredible skills to survive an impossible situation. Because you are an adult now. You hold the keys. That old environment is gone, and you have the power to reassure that part of you inside that is still on high alert. The war is over. It's time to tell your nervous system that it is finally allowed to stand down.